Today, I have some exciting news for you. iOS 17.5 is in beta testing, and it's packed with some incredible features and changes that you don't want to miss. This update is insane, and I'm going to show you why. For example, how would you like to install apps on your iPhone without using the App Store? Or play a new word game every day with your Apple News Plus subscription? Or see your Apple Podcasts widget change color to match the podcast you're listening to? Or check your iPad's battery health for the first time? These are just some of the things that iOS 17.5 brings to your iPhone and iPad. In this video, I'm going to show you everything new in iOS 17.5 and why you should be excited about it. So, iOS 17.5. This is a 0.5 update, which means it's not a major update, but it still has some amazing features and changes that you need to know about. Apple has already released 3 betas of iOS 17.5 to developers and public beta testers, and I've been testing them out on my iPhone 15 Pro Max. And let me tell you, this update is awesome. Let's dive into it. One of the most interesting features in iOS 17.5 is web distribution. This is a new feature that Apple has introduced in the EU to comply with the Digital Markets Act. Basically, this feature allows eligible developers to distribute their iOS apps directly from their own websites, instead of through the App Store or an alternative app marketplace. This means that you can install apps on your iPhone without having to go through Apple's review process or pay Apple's commission fees. How cool is that? Now, this feature is not for everyone, and it has some limitations. First of all, it's only available in the EU, so if you're outside of the EU, you won't be able to use it. Second, it's only available to larger developers who have been members of the Apple Developer Program for 2 years or more and have an app that had more than 1 million annual installs on iOS in the EU in the prior calendar year. Third, the developers still have to pay a core technology fee of €0.50 for every first annual installation exceeding 1 million in the preceding 12 months. And fourth, the apps still have to adhere to Apple's notarization guidelines and be registered in App Store Connect. But still, this feature is a huge deal for developers and users who want more freedom and choice when it comes to iOS apps. Apple has confirmed that iOS 17.5 beta includes support for web distribution, but there are currently no developers offering their apps via this new method. I don't expect this to change until the final release of iOS 17.5 in May. But when it does, it's going to be a game changer. Another awesome feature in iOS 17.5 is the new Quartles game for Apple News Plus. This is a fun addition for Apple News Plus subscribers who like to play word games. Quartles is a daily word game that challenges you to combine tiles to form words and earn points. Each puzzle starts with a grid of 20 tiles, and words can be formed with 1 to 4 tiles. A quartile is a 4-tile word, and if you find all 5 in each puzzle, you earn a 40-point bonus. Quartles is the 3rd game to come to Apple News Plus, following the addition of daily crossword and crossword mini-games that were added last year. Starting with iOS 17.5, all 3 games integrate with Game Center to display leaderboards. You can see how you rank against other players in terms of daily solve time and daily score. You can also see your own stats and achievements. Quartiles is a great way to exercise your brain and have some fun while reading the news. You can find it in the Apple News app under the following tab, then Puzzles. The game is also available on the iPad and Mac starting with iPadOS 17.5 and macOS 14.5. Apple News Plus is available in the US, Australia, Canada, and the UK. But the puzzle games seem to be limited to the US and Canada for now. Another cool feature in iOS 17.5 is the color-changing Apple Podcasts widget. This is a feature that makes your home screen more dynamic and colorful. While listening to a podcast on iOS 17.5, the background color of the Apple Podcasts widget changes to match the podcast's cover art. This feature was first added in iOS 17.4, but it was removed before that update was released. Now, it's back in iOS 17.5, and it looks awesome. The color-changing widget adds some personality and flair to your home screen. And it also helps you identify the podcast you're listening to at a glance. You can choose from different sizes of the widget, and you can also add multiple widgets for different podcasts. The widget also shows you the playback controls, the episode title, and the progress bar. The color-changing widget is a nice touch for podcast lovers, and it makes the Apple Podcasts app more appealing and enjoyable. You can find it in the widget gallery under Apple Podcasts. The widget also works on the iPad and Mac, starting with iPadOS 17.5 and macOS 14.5. Another feature that is coming to the iPad for the first time with iPadOS 17.5 is the battery health menu. This is a feature that has been available on the iPhone for a while, but it's new for the iPad. The battery health menu shows you your iPad battery's maximum remaining capacity and charge cycle count. These are important indicators of your battery's health and performance. The maximum capacity measures the percentage of your battery's original capacity that it can still hold. A normal battery is designed to retain up to 80% of its original capacity at 500 complete charge cycles. The charge cycle count measures how many times you have fully charged your battery. A charge cycle happens when you use all of the battery's power, but that doesn't necessarily mean a single charge. For example, if you use half of your battery's power today, then recharge it fully, and then use half of it again tomorrow, that counts as one charge cycle. The battery health menu helps you monitor your battery's condition and optimize its performance. You can also see if your battery's performance is affected by its health, and if you need to service your battery. You can find the battery health menu in the Settings app under Battery, then Battery Health. The feature is not visible yet in the iPadOS 17.5 beta, but it's expected to show up in the final release. The feature is likely to be available for the new iPads that Apple is going to announce at its upcoming event on May 7th. The last thing I want to talk about is the other iOS 17.5 changes that are worth mentioning. These are not major features, but they're still nice improvements and tweaks that make iOS 17.5 better. For instance, the News app has a cleaner layout and more categories for the Following tab, which makes it easier to find and follow your favorite topics. The TV app has a carousel of your recently watched shows and movies, and a grid of your purchased content, which makes it more organized and convenient. The Books app has a larger cover art and a progress bar for your current book, which makes it more attractive and informative. The FaceTime app has an option to disable the eye contact feature, which makes it look like you're looking at the camera when you're actually looking at the screen. This can be useful if you find it unnatural or distracting. The Maps app has an option to report accidents, hazards, and speed checks, which can help other drivers avoid traffic and stay safe. These are some of the other iOS 17.5 changes that you should know about. And that's it. iOS 17.5 is a game changer, and it's coming soon. Keep an eye out for the public release in May. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you want to stay updated on latest Apple leaks and updates. This is Alvin from Tech Pulse Pro, signing off.